Thanks, Jason. All right, so on the reports section within commit, you may have noticed a lot of new reports here. All of these reports, for the most part in their own form, are also available on a given swimmer's profile as an individual swimmer version of the report. These are all team-wide reports. And then there's a couple other places where they're sprinkled throughout commit where they make sense. We're going to start here, and then I'll show you kind of how it spiders off from there. So this first report here, top times and standards, is a report we've had in commit for quite a while, minus the standards part. So up here, you can filter by date range, course, gender, age group, your training groups or your registration groups, and then layer in now any time standards that you have loaded into your account. Right now, we're going to be looking for the purposes of this demo. We're going to look at the 2024 to 2028 motivational standards from USA Swimming. And you can even like filter like a minimum standard that you want to see, minimum of A. And this is showing you your top times for your club, given all these filters in every single event. You can obviously filter by stroke. You can view this by event, or you can view it by swimmer, which is also new. So this now, and then you can search for a swimmer. So say we just want to look at Katie's times. So that's a real quick way to do that. This interactive view of a top times report for your team, viewable by event, by swimmer, layering on time standards, taking off time standards, filtering by anything you want, we feel like is probably it's my favorite report because I think it does so much all in one screen. And then on top of that, we have the ability to generate this report into a PDF like this, as well as, and it's going to show you what you have on your screen. So whatever filters and options you have here will be in your report, whether it's a PDF or an Excel file. The individual reports as well, you can generate from here. So there's a few different ways you can get to it, but then you can filter by training group, age group, and again, select whoever you want and generate, a combined PDF of their best time. So you have one page per swimmer, right? Now we have these new meet reports, which the easiest way to view these is actually like right when you upload a meet results file now, you will see a report that looks like this. This same report is in the reporting section. You just select the meet and then you can view it. And this shows you for this meet, like you can filter by personal bests only, show the percentage drop or not, with the time drop or not. You can also layer in time standards here as well, which will show you the time standard that the time at the meet achieved and how far away it is from the next standard in that like standard scheme. The report similarly can be viewed by event or by swimmer, or even by time standard, and then training groups, age groups, filter, all the same type of filters. You can search by events and by swimmers. Again, that's me. This will filter down to Ben, highlight Ben's name. You can generate this report as a PDF or Excel file as well to share around. Let's go back to reports. So that's what this is. And anytime you do upload a results file, it will automatically create a report here. So you don't have to like recreate it. It's already here for you. You can rename it, whatever you want. And if you click new report, this is where you can find a meet. And you can add in like a comparison of times by default. It's going to go to your all-time best. But if you want the like percentage drop or time drop to be just the last 12 months, for instance, you can set that here. So you can always compare time drop and percentage drop to whatever time period you want in that report. The qualification and standards report also is brand new. So here you select either an upcoming meet that has an events file from HiTech already loaded in, which will have like times to qualify for every event, right? Or you can select a specific time standard level, like say you want to do, so now what it'll do is it'll show you all your swimmers, the number of events they have qualified, the events across the top here. If you show qualified only versus not, this will show now every swimmer that's within these filters. You can do an as of date as well. So for the age, so I know like, so say you're looking into the future for a meet that's 6 months from now, and you want to set that as the age and see if they qualify then, you can do that here. This is by age group because so many of these time standards differ by age group, obviously, for qualification. And then just like with all the other reports, we have a generate report button here where you can view this as a PDF. So you can easily like print this out, put it on a bulletin board, review it with swimmers, whatever you need to do. The records feature is also fairly new. You can by default, there will be some record boards created that we think based on like our understanding of your club. There will be record boards here that take all your top times and are created, but you can always make a new record board, set the name, category, pick the events that are on the board. Like for instance, say you want to have put your pool records on here as well. Commit's not detecting necessarily or trusting the like pool in the results files to create that automatically for you, but you could create the board and then manage the board yourself from here, which then you can display on your website and all sorts of cool stuff. On a given board, you see girls, boys, events, times. If you click on a record, this will automatically populate from your results files. This is the other thing I should say, and we'll get into that in 1 second. You can override this manually by saying, oh no, like this was some errant result from a file that's not accurate. This is actually the real record. And then you just select it and click. Where my thing's in my way. There we go. Set as new record. And then that's the new record there. You can also manually add a time. If there's not one, you can remove it or manually add a record in a place. So say, like there's a time that was from 1985 that you know is the team record, but you don't have the file, it's not in the database, you can just add it here and override it. And then what happens when you load a new results file that has records we think are records for your club, they'll show up as pending, and they show up here and they also show up on the board itself. You can either reject or approve them. So say we want to approve this 400 free long course meter, and then that's the record, right? The reason we do that as pending is because we know there's so many issues with like swimmers being like, or how you want to classify them, like are they unattached, but actually you want to count it as your club record? Are they times that were erroneous again from the touch pads or something? All that stuff is why we do this pending situation. You can create PDFs or Excel files of the records as well. And let's see what else we got here. So then the last three are, I would say, less used so far, but I think are equally as fun. So if you're a high school team, summer club team, a lot of times you have like a high points award at the end of the season. You can create a report that helps you like figure this out, right? So start to end date. You can select which meets. Let's just do this for fun. Then you can decide whether to include relays or not. Text report, and you can generate a high points report. So you normally can.
Yeah. Because they set the dates there.
There we go. And then this will show you meets along the columns and swimmers down the side, and you can categorize it by age group and gender, whole team, just by age group or just by gender. And then same thing, generate this into a PDF or Excel. And that's going to trust the point attribution based on the results file as well. The team improvement report is kind of cool. So you set a since date. By default, it's 1 year ago. We can keep that. And then you set a course. You can filter by the normal filters. And then it shows like the number of total times that have improvement, personal best achieved, and the average improvement. You can do a breakdown by training group, by age group, and by gender. A lot of times we get a question of like, oh, I want to know like which training group or which location is improving the most, depending on like who's coaching it or what their training strategy is or whatever it is, right? And then we have top improvers as well. So most personal bests are the largest percentage improvement. And then this gets generated. We'll do an Excel one this time so you guys can see what that looks like. There it is. So you see all the swimmers here, their age, the group, the number
Hey,
of
Dan,
personal.
it's not showing the Excel just because you have the just the browser window selected.
Ah, yes, thank you. Let's do the whole thing. How's that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so here, so in Excel, we've got all of our swimmers, age, group, number personal best, average improvement, the best drop event, and the total time of that best drop event. And then we can even go to the individual personal best details, which lists every personal best that was achieved, every new time, previous time, time drop time for every swimmer, the whole team in Excel. So exporting this data is really easy and gives you like super granular detail. The team standard summary is also really fun. This actually might be my favorite. I know I said the first one was my favorite, but this is like, I don't know if this was a commit original or if this is similar to other programs have this, but I feel like this is pretty unique. So this will show you the distribution of your team or a specific training group. Let's go down. Let's like filter down to one group and or a specific age group. Total that are reaching the standard. So like 15 swimmers have reached quad A standard here, 17 at least a triple A, 19, or you can do it such that it's the highest reached. This test team has a lot of really fast swimmers on it. And then down here, it shows you the breakdown. Either, we'll say we were doing the all the training groups that way. It makes more sense. The breakdown by training group, number of athletes, and then how many have quad A, triple A, double A, by age group or by gender. And then we have a comparison because this is a test team. We don't have really any data from a year ago, but you would be able to compare how many have achieved that time now in a given training group, for instance, versus last year versus this year. So it's really cool to see trends through time, distributions of different training groups, things of that nature when it comes to team time standards. On the report side, oh yeah, so I want to show you inside of meets. I already showed kind of what that meet report looks like on the result side. The other one that's really that we wanted to like embed within a workflow is for qualifications for an upcoming meet. So say we want to come to the Summer Zone Championship and we want to figure out like who we want to invite to the meet. So they see it on their team calendar, their parents can commit or not commit or commit to certain sessions, and then you can enter them into events. We used to have just this roster view where you could like filter down by registration group, training group, um, check the swimmers that you wanted to invite to the meet. But we got a lot of requests from users saying like, this is awesome, but what I need to see is like who qualifies for the meet so I know who to invite, which is a very fair, makes perfect sense. So we built this qualification view where you can uncheck and check invites, but you can see like how far away people are from qualifying. You can see how many events they've qualified for, what events they've qualified for. This is basically the exact same time standards view of that other report, but it's specific to the meet cutoffs. Now, if this is for a meet where you know that the meet cutoffs are your LSC's, senior championship silver cutoff or whatever that cutoff might be, you just load those time standards into commit and then you select it here. Like maybe it's before you have access to the events file, right? So you can be like, oh no, actually what I need to see is the A standard cutoff. And then you can do this by age group, gender, you can like filter down by course. By default, it's showing all courses. Actually, I think this changes depending on the event. If the events file is loaded, whatever rule is set for entries in the events file, this will also shift, but you can manually do it as well. Um, yeah, so we wanted to include that directly in the invites for a meet. And then on the roster, you can multi-select people. So you can like filter down, say you want to filter down by training group, registration group, whatever it is. And then you can check a bunch of people and click generate reports. You can then generate say you want to generate an improvement report for all these swimmers over the past year, flat starts only. And then what it does is it gives you an improvement report for all those swimmers. So previously, you'd have to go, well, actually, previously this didn't exist, but you could go into a swimmer at first and come over to their where's performance and go to their improvement report and generate a report. Very quickly, we realized that this, like within a week, we were like, oh, people are going to want to be able to like check 20 swimmers and generate 20 improvement reports. So we added that multi-swimmer generation, but you can also just dive into a swimmer's profile, come over here either to best times, time standards, all times, or improvement, and generate that specific report for this specific swimmer. Um, this is another really cool one. So say you want to see for a given swimmer, their time standards in every single event. You can narrow this down to, say you just want to see short course, right? So we see carries, times for every event in short course yards, their best time, what they've achieved, and how much further they are to go to the next level within this time standard category. The report for this, we'll do both of them. Looks like this on the PDF side. And then on the Excel side, looks like this, which is, again, really useful for when you want to print these out or share things with swimmers like outside of the context of the app as a more focused like session, either with them or their parents.
Dan, did you want to, real fast while you were there, show how you can also generate multiple reports at once from the roster right there?
Yes, yeah. So you can check multiple people, generate reports, and then say we generated time standard reports. And you do have multiple options. I didn't even go into this. You can do one combined PDF. You could do a zip with individual PDFs inside of it, or you can do a combined Excel file. The Excel file would look like this with a tab per swimmer. So there is a lot of ways to view the reports both in app and outside the app. We tried to hit like as much surface area as possible with how different coaches and different clubs use these type of reports. The last thing I want to show on the reporting side is with those multi-swimmer reports, some of them can get very large. So say you have a team of 400 swimmers and you want to generate an improvement report of the last year for everybody. You can do that and it'll take some time, but you can leave the page, you can do whatever you want. You'll get an email when it's done with a link um, to the multi-swimmer reports. This is a little like hidden button here that you can always access, but the link will take you right there. And it'll show you all the multi-swimmer reports that you've ever generated. And you can always just come back in and be like, yep, I want to download that. Yep, I want to download that. Um, Whatever it is that you generated previously. Or you can come here and use this to generate the multi-swimmer reports right here. Say we want to do best times in this case. And then you can filter by age group or training group and generate a best times report. So yeah, think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cruise through before we got to the Q&A, so that give you guys a chance to ask some questions.
Can you show real fast, Dan, while we let some questions come in,
Mhm.
show them where to go to add the time standards or request them if they don't um,
Sure.
have them, if we don't have them yet, and kind of what
Yep.
that process is
Yeah,
like?
good call. So the most inline way to do this is like say you're viewing the top times report and you're like, oh, I want to add a new standard. First and foremost, you can search through now because this is a test account. We only have these two standards in here, and you can preview what they are as well. But we have a lot of standards loaded in right now from LSCs all over the place. We have different tags for them as well, and you can search to see if they're in here, and then you can preview them to make sure it's the right one. That's the first way to do this. Now, if commit, and then if you want it, all you have to do is check the box and click save. And then it's like, will be in your account in those like little places where you can layer in the time standards, which is pretty much everywhere. If you want to request a new time standard that gets added, just click this, drop the file in here. We do basically anything except for the high-tech standard files. Those files are technically encrypted with a specific high-tech format that we're not allowed to access. So it needs to be PDF, Excel, CSV, image, basically anything else. If the or you can even just like write us a note, upload some PDF and write us a note saying it's at this, we have it in HTML, like at this website of our LSC or whatever, and we'll handle it from there. Within like a week or so after the time standard's requested, it should be loaded into commit. And if you don't see it within a week, just reach out to us and be like, hey, what's the deal? And we somehow probably missed it. That shouldn't happen. Oh, there's one more thing. Forgot. This one's also fun, and I don't think it exists anywhere else. So say you're doing meet entries, right? And you want to enter Travis into events, but you really want him to qualify for the upcoming, junior nationals meet or whatever. But you don't know how far away he is from each time standard. So what you can do here is you can layer in this plus time standard button. You can toss in in this case, it's the motivational standards, and it shows you what time standard he's achieved with his best time and how far off he is from the next, not only on events that are entered, but available entries. So this shows you like, oh, I really want to give him a chance to hit that 50 back double A. He's only 3/10 off. Let's enter him. Right. This was a suggestion we got at the ASCO World Clinic last year from a coach, I believe from Alaska somewhere. And he was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you could layer on the time standards, any time standard into the view when you're entering swimmers into meets so I know like who I'm giving a chance to get a cut that they're close to. And I think that's the last place that's like right now the time standards are infiltrated into. The idea with the time standards was to sprinkle them like throughout the app in all the relevant places. Oh, to Jason's point, one more thing. The If you don't add a time, so you can add the time standards from the reports directly here. You also can come over to your team settings and probably in advanced. Yeah, down at the bottom of the advanced settings, there's this time standards um, thing where you can do the same exact things. You can see which ones are inside your account. You can preview them. You can edit the names. So like we have the default name, but you can edit the name. It'll just change that name of the time standard for you and your club. It won't affect everybody else. You can see the global name goes unchanged. And then this is where you can request the new standards, search for standards, preview what the standards look like, and do all that, manage that in one spot. All right, ready for questions now.
Great. So the first one, you kind of already touched on this a little bit, but just to sort of reiterate on it, one of the questions was asking like specifically for like some teams in New Jersey, like they create their own time standards. Can they upload their own, or do they have to send them in for us to create?
Mm-hmm. Um, you would send them in for us to create, but if you have them created in an Excel file, say, or a PDF, and you send that file in to us, we'll put it inside the commit for you. Yep. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much they can send it to us in almost any format that they
Yep.
have. Things like Excel or PDFs, spreadsheet styles would be preferred, but ultimately, whatever they can send us as long as the data is there.
Good.
And we'll always follow up with anyone if there is, additional clarification we need or corrections or any questions like that. And if anyone ever notices any issues with time standards that have been uploaded too, like definitely reach out, let us know so we can go in and we can look against what was uploaded. We can get some clarifying information and then we can look to make those updates. There's no other questions at the moment coming in. We can see if anyone has anything else. And of course, if after this is over, we send out the video, anything like that, people have like thoughts that pop up later, definitely reach out to us, to our support team. We'll get you answers on stuff or talk through how processes of how you can run the sort of reports you're looking to do.
100%. Um, Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. We have a lot of, I kind of alluded to in the beginning, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline here with new features. The most exciting and noteworthy, as hopefully a lot of you know, is our mobile app of like for parents and coaches of all this like team management stuff is in the final phases of internal testing right now. So we are finally ready to launch that. And then there's a lot of other features too, but I won't get into all those details. We'll keep you waiting for news on those. So the mobile app is in its final stages. We're almost there. Um, these reports were really exciting to release. The new website editor, we're really excited to release. And we're just continuing to improve based on your feedback. So anything that you want to suggest, reach out to team@commitswimming.com. And if you're not already on Commit Team Premium, go to commitswimming.com, click book a demo, and hop on in May for that 40% off. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everyone. For anyone that's reached out with a few other little questions, I'll follow up with you guys after. That's not necessarily related to anything on here with the Times reports. So I will be in touch. And if anyone has questions, yeah, reach out, please.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you.
See ya.